Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
I want to welcome now the last speaker on this session, and she came like magic yesterday. All of a sudden, very unexpected, and we did everything possible to bring her in. And we are so happy to have you here, Darylyn Nielsen. I will say just a few words to present her. Darylyn Nielsen has owned a holistic health clinic for 40 years, and for 25 years have treated illnesses due to spiritual problems. And she will speak, the title of her talk is The Virtues in Me. Thank you, Darylyn.
Oh, thank you so much. It's really a blessing and a privilege to be here. I had no intention of speaking at this event, so I had forces pushing this and putting it all together at the very last minute. And so I have written down my thoughts because I'm 77, and believe me, I have a lot I could share. And to give you 15 minutes of the knowledge that I would like to share with you is a challenge, and I promise to keep to that time. So I just want to tell you that I can see your radiance. I can see your love, and I can see your compassion and your service that each of you has brought to this global transformation festival. We are making it happen together. And for the facilitators and planners, God bless you. I really want to acknowledge all the work and passion and devotion that you put into bringing us together. I just want to say I'm a starseed. I'm one of the old ones, the group that came in 1944 and 45. And of course, we came, we uh, we agreed to come, we offered to come, and we came with the task of helping awakening souls and the establishment of oneness and unity and world peace. All memory of my connection to the Pleiades vanished when my soul entered a body here in the third dimension reality. However, in my teen years, it was very obvious that I was different from the rest of my family, and many of you have today spoken about not being understood by your families. And I really felt so good in my heart to hear this, because I don't know, I seem to feel like I was the only one that went through that horrible experience. But God bless us all. We did manage to survive our parents and continue on. And well, in my teen years, it was very obvious, but once an adult, however, I was drawn to the Baha'i faith and its messages of oneness and unity and community building. And it was clear as time went by that I was chosen to be a healer. So for 20 years, I passionately studied many forms of healing, including Tesla's energetic treatments and quantum forms of energy healing, and the dark field microscope for looking at living blood, and analyzing through energetic techniques hair for the encoded information that's in the electromagnetic field. So I did all of my hair analyses. So I studied a whole lot of other third dimensional forms of creating health. So in a total of 41 years, I had my own clinics. And of course, there are wonderful stories that go along with that. But today, I want to share some information about the fifth dimension beings that we are becoming. Let me begin by sharing my awe and amazement about seeds. Scientists have reproduced and cloned and made a lot of things for us to both enjoy and live in horror of. But I've never heard of a scientist, or anyone else for that matter, who has created a seed. I find them to be one of the most magical things, as simple as they are, as tiny as they can be, because in that cherry seed, so tiny in our hand, is the potential of a huge tree with beautiful blossoms that attract the bees and wonderful fruits when it matures. And what about those wonderful majestic redwood trees in California? Have you ever stood by one? Have you ever had the bounty of standing? Then you know, I don't need to say a word more about it. In that tiny seed was the reality, the potential reality of that huge tree. So my question to you is, what is the reality of your seed? Okay, it's an egg and a sperm. I'm just calling it a seed because that's as close, as I can come to our reality. Yeah. I think that the quite good question is, what is the destiny of your seed? And if you're not comfortable with the word destiny, that's okay. I mean, we all have different words for sharing what we feel and what we think. So if destiny is not a part of your belief structure, then we can ask, what is the purpose? What is your purpose in being in this 3D experience? A very spiritual, wise man named Abdu'l-Baha taught me that we were created to develop our spiritual truths, our spiritual fruits, excuse me. And those spiritual fruits are called virtues. And I have not heard that word mentioned so far today. Oh, I've heard people talk love, tolerance, or, some of these good words, but I've not heard anyone say the word virtue. And yet, here we have a holy, gentle, spiritual man saying, we were created to develop them. Digged in Swedish, if you don't know the word virtue, because we don't hear it very often. Virtues are those timeless, placeless, spiritual qualities of the one supreme creator. Oh, if you want to call that God or whatever you want to call it, is fine. We all have different perspectives of what created all of this. Virtues are fifth dimensional qualities, and they are helping people to be transformed and awakened now. We can see a very dark world out there that's lacking virtues, but suddenly, by the will of the supreme creator, here we are at the footstep or the doorstep of the golden age of peace. And as the old world comes crumbling down, making lots of problems for all of us and even more suffering, we are the chosen ones. And I humbly say that with gratitude, that we are the ones on the planet that are being prepared, we're being transformed. We don't have to worry about that. This is the will of the times. Trust in it and flow with it It's so wonderful, and each of us are going to contribute to this glorious new spiritual community in our own unique ways. Today we know about 950 virtues, but because we know this supreme creator or God or whatever we refer to is omnipotent, all wise, all knowing, with no beginning and no end. So there could be endless numbers of virtues, which are the image and likeness of God in us. So what are some of these spiritual realities? Okay, I'm going to speed it up. Love, compassion, honesty, reliability, creativity, beauty, integrity, grace, unity, oneness, peacefulness, harmony, rapture, friendliness, forgiveness, and so forth. Okay? I can't tell you all 950. It's impossible. I don't even know all 950. I know 100. And I send virtues one a week, every week, to 250 people around the world. And if you'd like to be on that list where you receive a virtue each Sunday or Monday, just let me know and I'll give you my email address. I'll put you on the list. So where do all these virtues exist? They exist in the reality of every creature, every created thing, not only on Earth, not only on Earth and Mars, but in all the universes. But in a human being, the virtues exist in this heart that we've been talking about all day, our spiritual heart. So if we have all these beautiful attributes, why do we see human beings being cruel, controlling, deceitful, distrustful, dishonest, being downright monsters? We're surrounded by these types of individuals right now. This is because these people have chosen to follow the lower nature, the self, and I mean with a big E, an ego with a capital E. It is the lower self that has manifested all the darkness that we are experiencing in the world today. We all know that. A collective darkness from collective self, collective ego. The fruits, the so-called fruits of ego are hopelessness, anxiety, fear, jealousy, self-victimizing, aggression, violence, deceitfulness, destruction, chaos, and on and on and on and on. These qualities create a very low vibration, which feeds ego. These dark qualities are the emptiness of virtues from the higher nature of mankind. It all comes down to choice, free will, to choose the higher nature's path or the lower nature's path. It's all a choice. And many times one needs to wander in the darkness and suffer in order to appreciate and long for the light, the higher nature. It takes courage and humbleness, very beautiful virtues, to say, please forgive me for saying such a hurtful thing to you. It takes humbleness and love and compassion to forgive someone who has done something hurtful to you. It takes strength, self-discipline, determination, and integrity to turn away from addictions like drugs, alcohol, gambling. It takes reverence, awe, and grace to appreciate the spiritual things in life. It takes unity, cooperation, caring, sacrifice, tolerance, purposefulness, optimism, forbearance, reliability, devotion, etc., to create a spiritual community. It takes justice and mercy to deal with our wrongdoings. It takes fidelity, faithfulness, trust, flexibility, integrity, understanding, and love to maintain a relationship. It takes serenity, joyfulness, grace, peacefulness to feel the heights of spiritual ecstasy and rapture. Did any of you listen to Freddie Nielsen speak today? Okay, he's my stepson.
We
That's
didn't
why we,
have he's in track one. We didn't have the pleasure.
okay, I didn't know, because some of you don't have your pictures on for me to recognize from when we were there. Anyway, he spoke about that, and he is the reason I'm here, because we have talked very much about virtues throughout the years. It's something that he loves, and he wanted me to come and share with you. So we were given hands to help those in need, the ill, the weak, the wee ones, not to hit one another or steal from others or abuse children or kidnap. If we choose to become spiritual higher beings, then we must awaken to our virtues. We must manifest them. This is God creating us, putting the virtues in us, these reflections and names of Himself, and asking us, now manifest them. And we have not been very successful, but now we have a power behind us. We are awakening, and we are going to be the ones. With our virtues, we can overcome our ego problems by focusing. If you become fearful, focus on trust. Any negative thing that comes up, look at the opposite side of it. That's the virtue. That's where the power is. That's where the light is. And just focus on it and repeat the name, repeat the name, repeat the name. And the negative thing is gone. It can't exist at the same time that we focus on that virtue. Very quick, powerful medicine. And I will end here and say thank you for your ears, for hearing what I had to say. Thank you for sharing with everyone this whole day. I love you all deeply from my heart. I don't need to know you. We are all one. And we are all a part of God. So when we love ourselves, we are loving everyone. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Darlene. This was Darlene Nielsen, and amazing speakers. It's wonderful how many subjects we've been touching in this session. And we've been starting with Thor, talking about building communities, the importance of coming together, and ideas of how to build these communities. And then we went with Eva, speaking about to lead love, and just reminding us a little bit, and that healing system of coming to your regal self, and sitting in that heart, in that love, in that core of being.